Imagine a quiet village where the sun gently caresses the green fields every morning, and a light breeze whispers something mysterious in the treetops. Here, among simple houses and endless meadows, a story began that will break your heart and make you believe in miracles. This is a story about friendship, not an ordinary one, but one that breaks all the rules of nature. This is a story about how a small fluffy dog and a majestic horse became best friends, not left the pages of a fairy tale book. On the farm where chickens, cows, and buzzing bees live, a new resident appeared. His name was Max, a small dog with big eyes like two shiny beads. Max was a real mischievous boy. He chased butterflies, barked at the clouds, and was always looking for adventure. His fur was soft as fluff, and his tail swayed like a small, cheerful banner. He was the soul of the farm, a little sunshine that dispelled boredom. But one day a new horse was brought to the farm. His name was Thunder, and this name suited him perfectly. Tall, with a mane that fluttered in the wind like a golden banner, he seemed like a real king of the fields. His hooves pounded the ground like drums, and his eyes shone with wisdom and strength. Thunder was calm but proud, and everyone on the farm whispered, "This horse is a real legend." At first, Max and Thunder lived in their own world. The dog galloped around the yard, and the horse walked leisurely in the paddock. It seemed that there was a whole abyss between them, one small and fussy, the other large and majestic. Who would have thought that these two would one day become inseparable? It all began one sunny morning. Max, as always, chased his favorite ball, but this time the wind was raging, and the ball rolled straight to Thunder's fence. The dog, without thinking twice, slipped under the fence and found himself a few steps from the huge horse. Thunder turned his head and looked at the little guest. His gaze was calm but curious, as if he had not asked, "Who are you, little daredevil?" Max was not afraid. He barked, briefly but cheerfully, as if inviting Thunder to play. The horse snorted softly and took a step towards him. Imagine this picture. A small dog jumps around a huge horse, and he stands like a mountain, but cheerful lights are already shining in his eyes. Thus began their first game. Max ran around Thunder, and Thunder freely stepped after him, like a giant who decided to play with his little second. The owners of the farm, seeing this, only threw up their hands. "What a miracle!" they said, laughing. But no one knew that this was only the beginning of the most beautiful friendship that these fields had ever seen. From that day on, Max and Thunder became inseparable. Every morning, the dog waited by the fence when Thunder would go out for a walk. They chased each other across the field. Max jumped like a small whirlwind, and Thunder galloped like a wind that had come to life. Sometimes the dog even tried to jump on the horse's back, but most of the time he fell into the grass, somersaulting funny. Thunder patiently waited for Max to get up and seemed to smile with his horse smile. Their adventures were full of joy. One day, Max found an old tire and pulled it to Thunder. The horse, without thinking twice, kicked it with its hoof, and they began to play like children. The tire rolled across the field, and behind it ran a dog and a horse, small and large, fast and strong. The owners just shook their heads. These two are a real team. But friendship is not only about games. There were also quiet moments when Max curled up in a ball at Thunder's feet, and the horse stood over him like a guard. At such a moment, it seemed that there were no words between them, but there was something more, a warmth that can't be explained. When the rain came, Thunder hid Max under his mane, and when the sun shone, they lay together in the grass, like two best friends who had shared the whole world. But one day, trouble came to the farm. A strong storm hit the village. The sky turned black, the wind howled like an angry beast, and the rain poured like from a bucket. The owners ran, saving the cattle, but Max disappeared. Thunder stood in his stable, restlessly stamping his hoof on the ground. He felt that his friend was not nearby. When the storm subsided, Thunder broke out of the stable. The owners did not have time to stop him. The horse rushed to the field where he had last seen Max. And there, under an old oak tree, he found him, small, wet, and scared. Max was trembling, but when he saw Thunder, he barked happily. The horse lowered his head and gently pushed the dog as if saying, "I'm here, friend. Everything will be fine." Thunder led Max back to the farm, stepping hard so that the little dog could keep up with him. The owners cried with emotion, looking at this picture. A big horse and a little songbird who saved each other not by force, but by love. The news of this unusual friendship quickly spread throughout the village. People came to look at Max and Thunder, took pictures of them and made videos. But for the heroes themselves, it did not matter. One thing was enough for them: a small dog with a big heart and a majestic horse with a kind soul. This story is not just a fairy tale about animals. It is about friendship knowing no boundaries, not afraid of differences, and not heeding the storm. Max and Thunder showed us that a true friend is someone who will come for you in the rain, who will share your joy with you and protect you in trouble. Their warmth warms the hearts of everyone who hears this story and reminds us, in a world where there is so much chaos, there is always room for a miracle. So the next time you walk in a field or watch a sunset, remember Max and Thunder. Imagine a small dog jumping around a big horse, and the horse slowly follows him. Imagine their laughter, barking and soft neighing, merging into one melody. And believe me, somewhere out there, on a farm among the green meadows, these two are still together. A small sun and a big star who found each other in this huge world.